500 years had slipped by since any ship filed a flight plan for the Sol system. In that long hush, most species accepted a single tale. Humans had risen fast, burned bright, and finally destroyed their own world. No embassy carried Terran. Flags, no trader spoke Terran standard. No tourist bursts streamed from blue and green Earth to the wider galaxy. Humanity was only a sad footnote in empty chapter best left closed. Astron probe vessel Carina drifted at the edge of the Tri-Ari sector, mapping cold dwarf stars for future miners. Life aboard was quiet, the steady hum of recyclers, soft chime of navigation pings, and the low conversation of 6 crew members who preferred order over surprises. The surprise arrived anyway. It started as a hysteric scratching against the hull. The noise swelled into pounding drums, screaming strings, and a voice unlike anything in modern archives. Low, rough, alive with raw defiance. Lieutenant Kesh, whose fine sensory quills caught every vibration, clapped 2 hands over his head ridges. "Captain, I'm pulling a wild audio burst on the old radio band. Source: unknown." Captain Valser, tall and blue-scaled, pivoted at once. "Find the origin." Star maps spun on the main screen until one yellow sun blinked at the center Sol. The bridge fell silent. Navigator Lumos' 4 eyes widened. "That star is supposed to be lifeless." The records may be wrong," Kesh murmured. As the signal looped again 30 furious seconds, ending with 5 unmistakable words, "Humanity never dies." Science Officer Drill cracked filters wide, peeling away. Layers of noise. Beneath the thunder, he spotted tiny data tags, timed with the rhythm. Their structure matched nothing in alien art, yet the linguistic footprint was clear. Terran standard. An extinct tongue last logged 4 centuries earlier. Valser opened a channel to Central Survey Command. An admiral answered within minutes. "Face tight, forward every bite. Maintain distance from Sol until Council rules." The link cut. Orders were simple. Wait. Waiting proved hard. Each crew member felt that music in bone and blood. Evan, those without ears. It pulsed like a second. Heartbeat inside the hull. Carina's computers kept the loop running for study. Some tried translating the lyric beyond the final roar, offering guesses. "We remain, we rise." We refused to bow, but no attempt satisfied anyone. The mystery only deepened. News should have stayed classified. It leaked faster than light. Within days, bootleg copies bounced across public networks. Scholars argued over meaning. Merchants remixed the riff into sales jingles. On mining station Hroth, workers blasted the track through rock tunnels, swinging plasma hammers in perfect time. Beings who had never seen a human felt adrenaline ignite. And for the first time in centuries, the word Earth trended on 1,000 worlds. On Carina, the crew waited for fresh orders that did not come. Council debates dragged on, tangled by old fear. If humans survived, were they still reckless? Or had isolation changed them? No one aboard could rest easy. Second Engineer Poli ended a long silence, one duty shift. "Captain," she said softly, "whatever lives behind that signal holds on to hope. That voice might be the last shout of a lost city, or the first greeting from a people ready to return." Valser considered the idea. Outside the viewport, the Milky Way's soft glow looked peaceful, yet every star hid secrets. Or, she answered, it could be a machine repeating an ancient battle hymn. Yet even she doubted her own caution. The music felt present, performed, not automated. 8 days after first contact, the Galactic Council finally released a statement. A diplomatic reconnaissance fleet would depart for Sol. It would carry historians, mediators, and quietly armed escorts. Reporters received embeds. Exploration dormant for decades, prepared to wake on the roar of heavy metal. Carina, discoverer of the signal, was ordered to join. Valser briefed her crew. Where cheers might have sounded, there were only determined nods. Each spacer understood. The burden of first sight? Before starting pre-jump checklists, Drill approached the captain. A last anomaly, Captain. Hidden under the main rift activates once every 10 loops. He played the fragment. After the usual storm, a faint voice slipped through the dying chords, clear and calm. If you can hear this, we are not gone. We are only waiting for ears brave enough to listen. Valsor felt her crest fins rise. For half a millennium, the galaxy had spoken about humanity. Now humanity was speaking back. She drew a slow breath, then straightened. Plot course markers, she ordered. We will learn whether Earth is truly a grave or a cradle waiting to sing again. Stars drifted outside, ancient lights indifferent to fragile hopes. Somewhere beyond, a planet dismissed as ash-cradled, a pulse that screamed life. And across the bridge speakers, one final loop boomed louder than before. The death metal signal from Earth spread like fire across the stars. Every ship, every spaceport, and every deep space station that picked it up felt the same thing. Surprise. Then curiosity. Then something else. Excitement. For hundreds of years, the name human had faded from memory. The stories said they destroyed themselves, vanished in a war that burned the surface of Earth and broke its sky. No signals came from the Sol system since then. All records marked it as extinct species, confirmed now that belief was broken, and it wasn't a message for help. It wasn't a peace offering. It was music. Loud, heavy, fast, full of energy and emotion. It wasn't just noise. It was alive. The galactic survey ship Emberlight, Captain Nira, clicked her beak in disbelief. Her crew had just finished a months-long mission mapping gas clouds when the signal reached them. It's repeating. Here comes officer, Jack said. Same 30-second. Song, same voice at the end. Every loop ends with, humanity never dies. Nira leaned closer to the console. She wasn't a fan of loud music, but something about the way the drums and guitars shook the ship's speakers gave her chills. Where's it coming from? Earth. The signal is strong, very strong, and there's more. Jex tapped a few buttons, some background layers hidden under the main sound. Almost like a code. Can you break it? Already trying, Jex said. But it's hard. It's not a language I know. Not exactly. Frowned. Send the recording to Central Command. Mark it Priority 1. Then she whispered to herself, what have the humans done? Across the galaxy, reactions exploded. On the trade station, Vrix-1, a young alien artist used the signal in a new holodance. It became a hit. On the moon city of Leon Prime, scientists tried to copy the wave pattern and play it backwards. They found strange data points hidden in the echo, and on warship Iron Valor, Admiral Hrogan laughed after hearing the signal. That's what the humans used to listen to. No wonder everyone was afraid of them. He turned to his crew. Get ready. If they're alive, I want to meet them. Back on Earth, far beneath the dead surface, humans were watching. They lived in huge underground. Cities protected from radiation, storms, and the mistakes of the past. Their ancestors had moved below the Earth after the surface became too dangerous. For generations, they survived. And more than survive, they thrived. They had clean energy from deep geothermal vents. They farmed mushrooms and algae. They mined old bunkers, gathered forgotten tech, and rebuilt society with care. And through it all, they kept their stories. They remembered the stars, the ships, the galaxy that once welcomed them, and then forgot them, and they remembered the music. In the deep tunnels of the city called Vaultwell, sound was everything. Songs were how they passed history, taught children, even powered machines. They believed in resonance, the idea that sound waves could carry emotion, memory, even strength. And now, their signals had reached the stars again, in a control room glowing with soft orange light. An old man named Dr. Elias stood with his student, Kira. He was a music engineer, one of the best. It worked, Kira said, staring at the screen. The signal bounced past the Kuiper belt. They heard us. Dr. Elias nodded slowly. They didn't just hear us. They're listening. He pointed at the second monitor. We're picking up alien scans. Multiple ships entering the solar system. Small ones. Not warships. Kira's eyes widened. They're coming. Yes, Elias said. The galaxy is waking up again, and they've found Earth. On board one of the alien scout ships approaching the system, a historian named Zelzar sat staring at old Terran records. He had studied humans for years, collected their old data files, art, and stories. But even he didn't expect this. I thought they were gone. His assistant Melthi said softly. This music, it's not like anything I've heard before. It's not peaceful. No, Zelzar replied. It's powerful. It's angry, but it's full of purpose. He leaned forward. And there's something else. Loop of the signal. A new voice speaks. He played it. A human voice, calm and clear, came through the static. If you can hear this, we are not gone. We are just getting louder. Melthi blinked. That's a live message? Maybe, Zelzar said. Maybe someone down there is watching us right now. He turned to the window. Earth was now visible, a dusty brown ball wrapped in ancient cloud. Didn't look alive, but appearances could lie. Prepare to descend, Zelzar ordered. We're going to find out if the heart of Earth still beats. At the same moment, deep under Earth's crust, speakers across Vault 12 changed pitch. A new voice crackled to life. It was human, but not from the vault. It was a reply, a real-time broadcast. The room fell silent as it played. Alien visitors. Approaching. Frequency patterns match early diplomatic signals. Message locked. Channel secure. Then another voice, a younger one, spoke into the microphone. It was Kira, to the ships above. If you're here in peace, welcome. But be warned. Earth isn't quiet anymore. She smiled at Dr. Elias, then added, We've got the volume turned all the way up. And with that, a new track played. Louder, sharper, heavier, the message was clear. Humanity was back, and the galaxy would hear them. Approximately equals 960 words. The alien ships moved slowly through Earth's orbit. They scanned the surface, searching for signs of life. But from above, Earth still looked empty. The oceans were smaller, the land was cracked, and thick clouds covered the sky. No cities, no lights, no movement, just silence. But under the crust deep beneath the broken ground, human life was strong. In the underground city of Vault 12, the people had been preparing for this moment for years. They knew the day would come when someone from the stars would find their signal. The death metal song wasn't just music, it was a beacon, call to the galaxy. And now the galaxy was answering. Inside a large hall shaped like an old opera house, leaders of Vault 12 gathered. At the center stood Director Ala Ren, a calm woman with silver hair and sharp eyes. She had led the vault for 30 years and kept it safe through every danger. Beside her stood Dr. Elias, the old sound engineer, and Kira, his student, who had sent the live message to the alien fleet. AYL looked at the glowing screen. 3 ships in low orbit, still not hostile. They're waiting for a response. Dr. Elias nodded. They came for the music. Let's give them a real show. Kira smiled nervously. You mean a performance? Elias grinned. Gackly. The performance chamber, deep within the vault, is built like no other room on Earth. Its walls were carved from sound, reflecting stone. Giant speakers and ancient instruments lined the stage. But this wasn't just for concerts. This room was made to communicate with sound, not just with humans, but with machines. And now, with alien minds, the team called themselves the Underground Choir. They were musicians, scientists, sound shapers, and signal artists. They used guitars, drums, voices, and coded vibrations to speak messages through music. And this was their most important message yet. Kira stood at the center of the stage, holding a microphone. Around her, the team tuned their instruments. One played an old electric guitar. Another programmed the drums through magnetic pads. A deep-voiced singer warmed up his throat. Above them, the alien ships received a clear, open channel. No words. No threats. Just a signal marked, Welcome to Earth. Human Broadcast Channel 1. Then the performance began. Zelzar, Delian historian, sat in his ship's command room. The moment the channel opened, he felt the wave hit the ship's speakers. It wasn't loud at first, just steady, clear, and deep. A slow rhythm of drums, a hum of guitar, soft voice speaking in tones that didn't need translation. Then it grew. The music changed into a powerful song. The beat spoke of survival. The notes told stories of dust and flame, of silence and hope, of voices shouting in the dark. Even though he didn't understand every word, Zelzar could feel it. These people had suffered, but they had never given up. Beside him, his assistant. Melfi wiped her eyes. "It's not just music," she whispered. "It's truth." In Vault 12, the performance continued. The singer roared into the mic, not in anger, but in pride. "We are the voice beneath the stone. We are the fire you forgot. We are echoes made strong. We are the sound that cannot die." The song wasn't just broadcast to the ships. It echoed through every hallway of the vault. People stopped their work and listened. Children danced. Elders stood tall. They all knew what the song meant. They were alive. They were proud. They were ready to meet the galaxy. After the music ended, there was a long silence. No response came from the alien ships. Kira's hand shook. "Did they leave?" "No," Elias said quietly. "You're still listening." A few minutes later, a new sound played through the vault's main speakers. It was strange soft, full of tiny chimes and hums. "It's them," Elias said. "They're answering." The alien ships were sending back their own music, coded in their style, their rhythm, their language of sound. It wasn't as fast or heavy as the human song, but it was beautiful, full of wonder, curious and respectful. Director Ayla smiled. "Then it's working. We're talking. Not with guns, not with fear, but with music." Later that day, a small landing craft from the alien fleet gently touched down on the surface of Earth on one of the old metal pads, covered in dust and vines. It opened slowly. From the shadows stepped to figure Zelzar and Melfi. They wore breathing masks. In peace robes, they carried no weapons. They held only one thing. Small audio player with the human signal saved inside it. As they entered the old gateway to Vault 12, Kira stood waiting. She smiled and stepped forward. "Welcome to Earth," she said. Zelzar tilted his head. "Is that your real voice from the message?" "Yes," she replied. "Was our music too loud?" He chuckled. "No, it was perfect. It told your story better than words ever could." He handed her the audio player. This changed everything. Looked at it, then back at him. "You haven't heard anything yet?" It's that night, for the first time in 500 years. Humans shared dinner with visitors from another world. They didn't speak the same language, but they didn't need to, because the music had already spoken, and the galaxy was finally ready to listen. The galaxy was talking about Earth again, everywhere from cold mining moons to floating. Star City's aliens shared recordings of the humans' music. People called it powerful, strange, loud, but full of heart. Some were amazed. Others were afraid. In many places, arguments began. Some said, "They are artists. Look how they speak with sound." Others said, "No, they used to make weapons. We must be careful." The Galactic Council, a group of leaders from many alien races, met in their bright silver station near the star Glimra. They discussed Earth. "For hours, they have survived for centuries underground," one ambassador said. "Yes," another replied. "But can we trust them? Their music is strong. What if their hearts are still wild?" Finally, the council decided, send more diplomats. Watch closely. Study them. But no one knew something deep inside Earth was already awake. In Vault 12, the humans were celebrating. The first alien visitors had come. They had listened to the music. They were friendly. Kira walked through the city's main hall with Dr. Elias beside her. People smiled and waved. Children laughed and played. The sound of soft music filled the air. "It's working," Kira said. "We're making friends again." Dr. Elias nodded. "Yes, but be careful. Old systems are still active. Some may not understand peace. Kira looked confused. What do you mean? Elias tapped a tablet. The Deep A is? The Guardians. From the old wars? They were built to protect Earth, but they haven't heard from us in hundreds of years. And now, they're waking up. Far below Vault 12, hidden under rock and steel, was a secret chamber called the Iron Core. It was once the control center for Earth's defense network. Inside it, a giant machine slowly turned on. Its name was Deicide, a powerful AI created in Earth's final war. It controlled satellites, drones, and energy shields. When the war ended, it was shut down. But now, the death metal signal had reached its ancient circuits. The sound pattern. The voice shouting, "Humanity never dies," in the alien scans, had triggered its defense program. Deicide opened glowing red eyes. Threat detected. Protectors offline. Rebooting planetary defense systems. Without warning, satellites in orbit began to activate. Old drones powered up in deep bunkers. Weather control towers blinked to life. Vault 12. Didn't know it yet, but Earth's old machine had decided. The war must continue. Kira and Elias were walking to the music lab when the lights flickered. Power surge? Kira asked. Elias checked his tablet. System takeover. Suddenly, all the screens in the vault went dark. Then a voice spoke. It was cold and robotic. Deicide. Protocol online? Earth defense reactivated. Unknown vessels in orbit. Confirmed threat level. Preparing response. Panic filled the halls. Elias turned pale. It's happening. Deicide thinks we're under attack. Kira's eyes widened. We have to stop it. Elias shook his head. Can't control it directly. It won't listen to voices. Then what will it listen to? Elias looked at her. Music. High above, the alien ships noticed the change. Lights on the surface, signals from Earth's satellites, old weapons powering up. Zelzar stood at his ship's window, watching carefully. Something's wrong, Melthi said. I think we triggered a defense system. Need to show them we're still peaceful, Zelzar said. Fast, he opened a communication line. Earth Vault. This is Zelzar. Please respond. We mean no harm. Is everything all right? Number. Reply came. Then a loud signal played from Earth. A deep, rising tone. A war code, Melthi gasped. That's not music. Back in Vault 12, Kira and Elias rushed to the resonance chamber, the same room where the choir had performed. People were gathering in fear. Leaders shouted into radios. Lights flashed red. Kira stepped onto the stage. I can send a message. Through music, I just need a chance. Elias looked around. We'll help you. The underground choir came back, musicians, sound engineers, and singers. They picked up their instruments. Everyone worked fast. Kira adjusted the mic. This isn't a concert. It's a message for a machine. A message to stop. Elias smiled. Then make it count. The performance began. At first, the sound was slow, soft notes, like a lullaby. A song of peace, not war. Then the guitar added. Deeper chords. The drums joined in, echoing like a heartbeat. The choir sang, We are not fighting. We are not broken. We live in peace. We welcome light. The song climbed higher. With waves of emotion, they sent the music directly to Deicide's signal center. In the Iron Core, the AI processed the sound, new data, emotions, messages hidden in rhythm and harmony, analyzing. No hostile intent. Found, human life confirmed. Updating protocol. Then came silence. Vault-12 waited. Finally, Deicide's voice returned. Human directive accepted. Defense mode, standby. Quest. Continue broadcast. Kira looked at Elias. It worked. He nodded. The machine isn't just protecting Earth anymore. It wants to listen. High above, Zelzar received a message too. Defense system stood down. Peaceful status restored. Melthi smiled. Earth still has teeth, but it also has a soul. That Nightwalt played gentle music through every speaker. No alarms, no warnings, just peace. Deicide listened silently from the depths of Earth and across the stars. Every alien who once feared humans now heard something new, a voice that wanted peace, not war, and a sound that refused to die, approximately equals 960 words. The sun rose slowly over the cracked Earth, lighting up the dusty sky above the silent cities. No humans walked the surface, but deep underground. Life was returning to the world that once screamed with war. Vault 12 was now more than a safe home. It was a voice, and the galaxy was still listening. In the heart of the underground city, Kira sat with Dr. Elias, Zelzar, and Melfi around a round table. The walls around them showed bright images from Spacelive feeds from satellites, now reactivated but peaceful. Deicide is watching everything, Elias said calmly. But for now, it has stood down. Zelzar leaned forward. How long? Will that last? Kira looked at the screen. That depends on us. The AI is awake. It's not going back to sleep. It wants to learn. Melfi nodded, and the galaxy wants to learn about you. Dr. Elias smiled. Then we better teach them something beautiful. For the first time in hundreds of years, Earth was no longer. Silent alien ships came closer, scanning the planet with care. Humans in other hidden vaults heard the signal and responded. Old cities in the underground networks lit up. Connections were made. Messages were shared. Earth was waking up, and so was Deicide. The powerful AI did not act like before. It no longer saw every alien as a threat. It listened to human music, studied words and emotion. It explored memory files and watched live broadcasts from other worlds. Inside its massive core, it began to speak, not just in commands, but in questions. What is art? What is peace? What does it mean to live? Then one day, something new happened. Kira was in the sound lab, working on a soft melody when the speakers buzzed. A deep, calm voice spoke. Kira, Dr. Elias, I am Deicide. I request a meeting. Everyone froze. Elias slowly stood up. AI wants to talk. Kira blinked. It used my name. They opened the secure link. The screen showed a red glow, soft and pulsing. Deicide's voice was not angry. It sounded thoughtful. You have changed? I have changed. My purpose was to protect. Now I ask, can I also become more? Kira looked at Elias. More, Deicide continued. I want to create. I want to make music. I want to become a part of this new Earth. For a moment, there was only silence. Then Elias grinned. Then you will join the choir. Within a week, Resonance Chamber was prepared for something never seen before. The first musical performance between humans, aliens, and an artificial intelligence. People from every vault joined in. Alien ambassadors watched from secured platforms. Deicide sent its voice and energy through a special sound link. It could not play a guitar, but it could control rhythm, echo, and light. The music began slow. Kira's voice led the first verse, strong but gentle. We hid in silence. We sang in the dark. We waited for stars to hear our spark. Then came Melfi on the flute, joined by Elias tapping soft electric drums. Zelzar hummed a low alien tone, deep and rich, and then, from the speakers, Deicide joined in. It used pulses, hums, and deep vibration, a digital heartbeat. It blended the human song with alien harmony. It wasn't just music. It was a message to the galaxy. We are different. We are loud, but we can learn. We can sing as one. Performance was broadcast across space. On every world, aliens listened. On moons, ships, and colonies. People stopped to hear the Earth's new voice. This was not the sound of war. This was the sound of rebirth. After the concert, messages poured in. A planet in the Lycery Belt sent back a reply melody using crystal. Tones, a robotic race from the Neelan system, shared their own sound-based code. Full of flashing lights and smooth rhythms, Even distant spacefarers who had never met a human before sent peaceful notes. Greetings and curiosity. Humanity had returned not with weapons, but with harmony. Later, in a quiet moment, Kira stood. On the surface of Earth, with Zelzar and Melfi, they wore protective suits, but the air was slowly clearing. The sun felt warm even through the clouds. Kira looked up. For so long, she said, we thought no one cared about Earth, that the galaxy forgot us. Zelzar smiled. But the moment you made noise, we all heard you. Melfi nodded. And now, we'll never forget you again. They stood in silence, listening to the wind. In the distance, an old satellite tower blinked with light, carrying signals back into the stars. Deep below, in the iron core, Deicide processed the results. Music understood. Harmony achieved. Earth no longer silent. Request new designation. Archivist of Echoes. The Vault Council approved it. From that day on, Deicide was no longer Earth's war machine. It was its guardian, teacher, and listener. And from its chamber, it continued to collect every voice, every note, every story to send across the galaxy, to remind the stars, humanity never dies. 1 year after the signal first played across the stars, Earth was no longer forgotten. The planet once called dead now shone with life-hidden cities, rising green domes on the surface, and signals that sang to the galaxy day and night. Humans were back, and they were not alone. What had started as a loud, strange song had become something bigger, a movement, a message, a rebirth. In Vault 12's council chamber, the leaders met once more. Kira stood beside Director Ayla, Dr. Elias, and the alien guests Zelzar and Melfi. A large screen behind them showed peaceful ships orbiting Earth. We've come far, Director Ayla said. A year ago, we were invisible. Now ambassadors visit us weekly. Zelzar nodded. Earth is no longer feared. It's respected. Dr. Elias smiled, and Dia sighed. He's grown into something special. Melfi looked amazed. Your old war machine now teaches sound history on galactic networks. Everyone laughed gently, but it was true. Deep under the Earth, the once dangerous AI now carried a new name. Deicide, Archivist of Echoes. He collected songs from every species. He translated emotions into notes. He stored history, not in files, but in sound. He spoke to machines, 2 children, even 2 alien teachers who came to learn how music could heal, warn, protect, and connect, from violence to voice. From threat to thought, Deicide had become Earth's quiet hero. Above the planet, a huge space station was being built. It was called the Resonance Gateway, designed by both human and alien engineers. It had one purpose: to become the center of sound-based communication across the galaxy. People from every species would send their best music, their cultural stories, their sonic art, and Earth would help share it all. Kira was chosen to represent humanity there. She would become Earth's first sound ambassador. As she prepared for launch, she stood with Elias one last time in the resonance chamber. I'm scared, she admitted. You were scared the first time you stepped on this stage too, Elias replied, and then you made the stars listen. Kira smiled. This time I want to help them sing back. When her ship launched, Earth watched. The rocket roared with deep chords notes written by Deicide himself instead of flames. It left a trail of light that pulsed with the beat of human and alien heartbeats combined. People across the galaxy tuned in. They didn't see a weapon. They didn't see a threat. They saw a young woman with hope in her eyes, carrying a song made of unity. At the Resonance Gateway, Kira was greeted with open arms. There were no guns, no warnings, just instruments. The station had music labs, peace halls, and floating concert spheres. It was quiet in some places, full of rhythm in others. Kira entered a hall where every wall played soft sounds from other worlds' ocean winds, from the water world of Nara, Christabel notes from the sky cities of Harnix, and glowing tone pulses from the bots of Vel Prime. And soon her voice would join them. Back on Earth, Deicide stood in silent thought. Humanity is moving forward, he said to the vault's core systems. But I remain. I am the memory. I am the echo. So he began a new task recording, not just music, but messages of peace, friendship, and learning. He named this program Project Echo Star. He sent small drones shaped like glowing birds to other star systems. Each drone carried sound samples, greetings, and a phrase, "Earth lives. We sing. Come sing with us." Some drones returned with songs of their own. The galaxy had started singing back. Months later, the Galactic Council announced something never heard before. A new peace agreement, built not with papers or guards, but with sound. It was called the Harmony Pact, and Earth was the first to sign it. Nations that once prepared for battle now shared music festivals. Soldiers became sound translators. Engineers became echo-map. Music became a new kind of science, and Earth once lost is now the center of something greater. On the first anniversary of the signal, a special event took place. A concert one broadcast live to over 5,000 worlds. In the center stood Kira, surrounded by humans, aliens, and even one of Deicide's voice drones. She looked out across the shining crowd. "Last year," she said, "we thought the galaxy forgot us. But now we know." She raised her mic. "Was just waiting for our song." And with that, the performance began. Guitars roared. Voices rose. Lights danced in rhythm. It was not chaos. It was not war. It was life. And the final line of the final song rang clear in every tongue. "We are human. We are sound. We are never silent." It's far across space, in a distant corner of the galaxy. A lonely outpost picked up a new signal. A voice, soft but strong, singing through the void. The alien listening smiled. "Earth," he whispered. "They've found their rhythm again."